Nevada, we got a steady drip going on. It's making a real mess out of things, but don't you think it's time we stop mopping and fix the hole in the roof? Isn't that just common sense? Come on, I want to show you something. Hi, I'm Tedman, a native Nevadan and retired Navy commander and founder of Common Sense for Uniting Nevada, an organization dedicated to ensuring our civil wellness by addressing the cause of our political division, fixing the hole in our roof. We believe our bitter polarization and governmental gridlock is not our fault. It's not due to the Republicans, and it's not the fault of the Democrats. It's not even the fault of the politicians or the PACs. We suffer from the inevitable and unavoidable collateral damage of an outdated and inefficient machine. Because, believe it or not, our big complicated problem has a very simple solution. Because the hole in our roof is our voting method. Today, when we go to the voting booth, we're asked one question. Which candidate do you want to have represent you? And when we answer that question, we divide ourselves into different political factions based on which candidate we support. And the result we get on election day invariably leaves almost half of us excluded, angry, and suspicious of the outcome. Sound familiar? But what if we ask voters a different question? What if we ask voters how much does each candidate represent you? And had voters rate all candidates, just like we rate products on Amazon. How much does Steve Sisolak represent who you are and what you believe in? How much does Michelle Fiore? How much does Joey Gilbert? How much does Dean Heller? All voters rate all candidates. Highest rated candidate wins. That's it. That one simple change. But it feels so different, doesn't it? Exactly. So instead of using majority rule, which will leave almost half of us ignored, we want to use majority opinion rule, which will ensure that no one's voice is ignored. Division-free voting doesn't begin by dividing the electorate into opposing camps, us versus them, red versus blue, like our current voting method. And candidates don't win by driving outrage among their base. Rating each candidate by how much they reflect our opinion inevitably pushes candidates toward the majority opinion, the collective voice of the voters, so no one gets overlooked. Replacing majority rule with majority opinion rule will allow our government to be guided by Nevada's authentic, steadying heartbeat. It's just the physics of the game. It's not political. It's just common sense. So how do we bring about this simple fix? The same way we fix everything in Nevada, by people taking action, by neighbor helping neighbor until we get the job done. Today, we filed a state constitutional initiative to institute division-free voting in Nevada. And now we only need 150,000 of you, my fellow Nevadan voters, to register your support for this initiative on our site, divisionfreevoting.org, and we can get this initiative onto the ballot. As you can tell from this crappy video, we're really going to need your help getting the word out. If we can work together to disrupt this clunky, antiquated election process and reimagine a better way for Nevada to elect its leaders using a voting method that democratizes our democracy, it could change everything, practically overnight. And no one would have to change their political opinion about anything. Just imagine where we could be as a state, as a country, if politics was not about creating winners and losers, if our elections were not about defining the individuals whose voices would go unheard, but rather was about finding the majority opinion and electing someone to represent it. What if we replace majority rule with majority opinion rule? Doesn't that sound like a vast improvement? Doesn't that sound like common sense? Divisionfreevoting.org. Register now and spread the word. And while you're helping to fix the hole in our roof, I better get busy and fix the hole in this one. Zelda, where's the ladder?